Hello, Zimbabwe, and hello, Zambia. Hello, Africa. My name is Jason Mids. I'm the Director of Communications and Publicity in the Zimbabwe People's Action Party. I'm also one of the founders of the party. We found this party as young people from Zimbabwe so that we can be involved in the action. We were tired of seeing the same dancers dancing on the stage year in and year out. So we said, yes, as young people, we also need to dance. And we have other dancers from across Africa who we want to learn from. And tonight on our platform, I've invited our brother Monalula. He's from Zambia. He's going to introduce himself. He has been dancing as well and helping other dancers. He's a Pan-Africanist. If I can also stress and make it clear, Zimbabwe People's Action Party is a Pan-Africanist organization, which means that we believe in one Africa. By believing in one Africa, we want Africa to be united. But how can Africa be united when there are 4 coups in 5 months in Africa? That is difficult. How can Africa be united when South Africa is not democratic, when Zimbabwe is not democratic, when Kenya is democratic, when Zambia is democratic? How do we become one? That's the question that we as young Africans should be chatting and starting to think about as we go forward. So us as Zimbabwe People's Action Party, to kickstart this issue of one Africa, we said, let's make Zimbabwe better. Let's make governance in Zimbabwe be good enough so that when it is good, no corruption, we now can match with other countries. We can now negotiate the unit. How do you negotiate unit when you are still fighting in the streets? How do you negotiate unit with empty tummies? How do you negotiate unit when you are running away from your country because of poverty, lack of opportunities? It's not going to happen. That's why we are saying wherever we are, Zimbabweans in diaspora, Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe, young Zimbabweans, let's work together. Let's come onto this platform and initiate the change that is measurable and that delivers in our country. So let me give this opportunity to my brother Munalula from Zambia to introduce himself and to tell you guys in Zimbabwe what he has been doing, how Zambians have made it possible that after every term they can change presidents without issues, without the gun. Over to you, Munalula.
Good afternoon, Zimbabwe. Good afternoon, Zambia. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are watching us from. My name is Mnalula. I am a Zambian citizen, born and raised in Zambia, and I also happen to be the founder of Z Corner Media. I'm also the founder of Tech Avantu, which is basically a blockchain software company where we offer tech-related, services. So basically, I've been doing my own thing and just trying to venture into entrepreneurship. My side hustle is digital marketing and business development. And just like I told you, I am the founder of Z Corner. And during the past 5, 7 years, we have been on this path to liberate Zambia, especially due to the fact that we had. A very blatant problem with regards to our previous leadership under the Patriotic Front. So I obviously took this opportunity as a Zambian who's patriotic and somebody who wants my country to develop to do what I can, especially from a technological point of view, because I am blessed with this particular gift of using technology to bring about a lot of changes. So during the past 5, 7 years, we have been working independently because Z Corner is an independently funded platform, and we've been working covertly to sort of make sure that the digital world is gravitating towards change. So this is what basically we have been doing for the past 5, 7 years, and today I'm here to talk to the people of Zimbabwe, especially to the youths of Zimbabwe, because we definitely need to make sure that our region is fully emancipated economically, politically, and everything that is related to development. So I really hope that I'm going to be able to sort of, parlay and give my honest opinions with regards to the experience that we have had. So thank you, Mr. Midzi, for having me on your platform. I'm so honored and I'm so humbled to be here.
We are so honored to have you as well, Monalula. You are doing a lot of work. Talent, you can never shut it out. You can never, cover a seed with a stone because it will come out through another angle. So we want you to we are here to learn from you guys because you've done it in Zambia. You've brought about change every year. You bring change. It's something that we cherish down in Zimbabwe. Yes, the terrain is different, but we can pick one or two things from your platforms. Okay, so I'll come with my first question to you, Monalula.
Yes, sir.
You have introduced yourself. Can you take us through your participation in change in Zimbabwe as far as the recent elections are concerned? How have you been involved?
All right. So with me, my situation is a little bit different because just like I told you, I was mostly using digital platforms to enforce the change. So when it comes to bringing about development, right, and basically starting a revolution or bringing change and basically getting to trigger the mindsets that can really bring change, right? You obviously need to display certain imagery and highlight certain portions of society which are being sort of abused. So in the past 7 to about 5 years, right, we were mostly using digital means, especially via Facebook, because in the past 5 7 years we saw a transition where the youths and basically a lot of Zambians were being sort of getting connected, and they were using digital means to sort of seek for information and just get to communicate. So we use this particular outlet to highlight the evils and the ills of the inefficiencies of the patriotic front. So basically, we were using several digital hacks that really use a lot of. Hacks, let's say for example, getting to convert, especially the non-believers or the non-UPND supporters. So basically, we were able to use several digital methods to sort of get to convert the PF, people who aligned with PF, and just basically get them to convert and highlight the major ills that were being done. So it has been a very tumultuous type of struggle, but using digital methods, we were able to highlight this. So basically, we were using Facebook to sort of target a lot of PF aligned Facebook pages, such as Smart Eagles, Mwebantu, Zambia Reports, basically, and just getting to make sure that they understand where the revolution is, going to start from, and why we need to have this transition of power. Because if this wasn't done right, we weren't able to have defiant individuals, such as the most vocal people in Zambia, such as perhaps Lydian Muntambo, Muvita Nawa, and a whole lot of other people. So basically, in 2015, 2017, right, we embarked on this journey. And during that particular time, right, we were highlighting all the evils and all the negative things with regards to leadership. And we were able to trigger the defiant one. So basically, when it comes to getting people to act, okay, people most of the times are reluctant. People might be able to know that there is something wrong, but they need to have a trigger. They need to have a subconscious trigger to force them to move. And if you look at our revolution, right, the majority of Zambians were being influenced by a few defiant individuals. So when it comes to digital marketing and marketing in particular, right, you need to be able to like trigger certain emotions and evoke certain people who are what's this word again, who are likely to have certain actions and certain impacts on society. And this is one of the reasons why in the past 7 years we were able to like project our method and get to trigger people who are likely to do certain things. And this is one of the reasons why in Zambia's revolution, right, we mostly saw a few youths sort of propel and trigger the rest to follow suit and just basically move in one direction. So it's very important in society to always highlight and find those individuals who are going to bring about change, because the majority of the population is basically stagnant. A lot of people just follow what everybody does. So it was very
Yeah.
important for us to attract the defiant ones, to attract the people who've got the prowess, people who are unshakable, people who are courageous, And in the past 2 years, we obviously saw a lot of Zambian stars. We saw Chela Tukuta, we saw Alice Musukwa, and a whole lot more. So these are basically the people that we were targeting and hopefully wishing to influence so that they can set a chain of reaction with regards to the youth. And these people were brave enough, because a lot of sacrifice was done, and but they were able to influence a lot of Zambian youths as well. So in a nutshell, we
Yeah.
were using digital methods to reach out and trigger people who are defiant, the courageous ones. And we were able to do this by just basically, showing the negative side of what was happening with regards to our leadership. So if you go on Z Corner, you're going to see our videos as early as 2016. I remember
Yeah.
vividly our very first video with regards to highlighting the ills of the Patriotic Front was when former President Edgar Lungu was in South Africa. He said, "I have no vision. I'm not going to do much." From that particular time, right, we said, okay, this is it. We're going to highlight everything. And if you look at the Zambian media, right, at that particular time, right, in the past 5-7 years, a lot of them were being influenced, or rather being sponsored by the Patriotic Front, because they were in government and they weren't able to highlight a lot of negative things when it comes to Kadarism, when it comes to a whole lot of different things. But for us, since we're independent and basically we have a lot of leg room, right, we were able to get away with such type of publicity. And yeah, this is how we were able to do that.
Someone is saying Hichilema made a false promise about free education. I would just want to say maybe we will review him after 5 years. I'm not sure if you can say something about that comment, Muna. Do you review the president before he starts his term?
All right. So when it comes to free education and campaign promises, right? You just running a country is more like running a business. You can't just start giving free education when you do not have any revenue source. So at this particular moment, right, President Hichilema just recently got elected, and he hasn't really had the chance to sort of improve the revenue in Zambia and make a lot of different changes. So right now, I really think it's too early for us to start judging him, because all the things that are happening, these have been implemented by the Patriotic Front. So as far as UPND leadership is concerned, right, they haven't had the opportunity to sort of be able to implement and make these changes. And according to all the things that he has been proposing, and by the way, today he had a very important speech in Parliament, because today we had the 13th National Assembly sort of ceremony, and this was the first session. He talked about a lot of powerful economic reforms. So if we give him time, and with time, I'm sure he's going to be vindicated, and we are going to be able to have a lot of different perks, such as free education, plus a whole lot of different implementations. So at this particular moment, where is the money going to come from to provide free education? So we have to be patient. We have to be realistic. Being realistic is something which is very vital. So at this particular moment, I really want to encourage people to give him a little bit of time so that they can actually get to work. When enough revenue is obtained, then we'll be able to judge them. So I think it's too early for us to judge the UPND at this particular moment.
Yeah, well, yes. So I understand my brother Leroy's Banda has been answered on that one. We'll go to the next question. So, Munalula,
Yes, sir.
what kind of a Zambia are you envisioning in the next 5 years?
All right. So for the majority of youths like me, our main what we really want to happen is economic emancipation. This
Yeah,
election was all about somebody who was going to be able to sort of help us have an economic breakthrough. And if you look at our past presidents, right, since 1964, it was all about gaining independence. There was, freedom and just being emancipated from that particular aspect. So when it comes to President Hichilema's rule, right, we are obviously expecting some economic reforms to be done, and so that a lot of Zambian youths can be able to have access to a lot of different facilities and a lot of different opportunities as well. So from my end, I really hope for economic emancipation. So it really seems like we lost Mr. Midzi.
No, I was just giving you a full screen.
Ah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was giving you a full screen. So yeah, it's so you're much to do with economic emancipation. Do you
Yes,
think it's
sir.
going to come? Is it are you kind of placing your hopes on the fact that Mr. Chilema himself is a successful businessman?
Not only due to the fact that he's a successful businessman, right? It's also due to the current action and the route he's actually going at this particular moment. Because I don't know how well familiar you are with regards to the new ministries that were formed in Zambia. So recently, President
Yeah.
Hichilema was able to add a few ministries which are very beneficial to Zambia, sort of getting to align itself in going towards the economic emancipation. President Hichilema has introduced two ministries. One is the small and medium scale enterprise ministry, which is going to be responsible for sort of making sure that Zambian youth and Zambian citizens have got enough opportunities, especially in the enterprise sector, to be able to have these opportunities and be able to have access to proper funding, and just basically be able to nurture Zambians when it comes to enterprise and entrepreneurship. Besides that, he also introduced the Ministry of Technology and Science. This is something that has never been done before in Zambia. And if you look at the actions that President Hichilema is taking, right, he's obviously lining us up for success. And in order for us to have obviously economic emancipation, right, we need to have policies and just these opportunities that are really going to harness and make sure that the Zambian youths have got equal and better opportunities for them to help themselves. Because at this particular moment, right, President Hichilema has been encouraging youths to participate and actually get out there and bring about this economic emancipation by way, or rather virtue of participation. So it's one of the reasons why he's setting up these policies that are really going to create a favorable environment for Zambian youths and Zambian citizens to really participate and have a fair opportunity to sort of be able to, win and bring about economic emancipation as well. So it's not just about President Hichilema, it's about Zambians collectively.
Yes, I think we'll keep addressing questions as they come.
Sure.
The reason why we are talking here as Pan Africanists is that some people have misconceptions about other countries. So when you are here, you can actually clarify things. When I'm here, I can clarify things about Zimbabwe. But all in all, Africa belongs to us, the young people, and we need to be aggressive and proactive in as far as leadership and leadership aspirations are concerned. So someone is saying, this is Oscar Monya, is saying Zambia is on a record of credit loans from China. How is the new government going to limit borrowing? That's what people have heard. Uh, is that true that Zambia is on a record of borrowing from China? Um,
Yes, I think this one is obviously public knowledge, and recently President Hichilema was able to sort of clarify this, and during his interview with the BBC, he was able to say and state that Zambia indeed has a lot of loans, and in fact, the UPND government inherited an almost empty treasury. And if you look at Zambia's budget, right, we spend about 30% of the Zambian budget with regards to servicing our interest when it comes to debt and all these loans. So, of course, Zambia, just like any other African country, and not only Africa, even the whole, the rest of the world has got a lot of credit and debt from China. But this time around, right, the UPND government has just come in, and they are going to be implementing a lot of different changes. And this is one of the reasons why President Hichilema has been very vocal as far as enforcing strict fiscal and monetary policies. So there are a zero tolerance they have a zero tolerance to corruption, which is obviously going to allow Zambia to efficiently use the current money that it has, and which is also going to, in turn, prevent, the excessive borrowing of money. So basically, we're going to be spending according, or rather within our confinement, and we're going to be using what we have. So with time, we're going to obviously be able to pay back our loans, and we're not going to accrue more and more loans. So getting back to that, right? Basically, fiscal and monetary policies are obviously going to be strictly enforced, and where the president of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hichilema, is going to make sure that we are very disciplined, especially when it comes to our expenditure and corruption. So that is obviously going to help us correct our situation. And moreover, he's a businessman. He understands the principles and the importance of being strict and very disciplined as far as your income and your expenditure is concerned. And just like I told you, right, now that the Zambia Revenue Authority is going to be collecting revenue, because what was happening in Zambia is political cadres were suffocating and choking the revenue stream from, let's say, for example, the Zambia Revenue Authority. So the Zambia Revenue Authority was really losing a lot of, income. A lot of income and revenue wasn't being remitted to the Zambia Revenue Authority. The first thing that President Hichilema did was, stop this, activity, and now the Zambia Revenue Authority is beginning to earn a lot of revenue, which is obviously in turn going to help Zambia improve its GDP. And due to the fact that there's going to be economic reforms and entrepreneurship is going to be encouraged, right? Obviously, Zambia is going to be able to do very well, have a surplus with regards to the budget, be able to pay off its loan, and just be able to, survive and thrive as well.
So, Munalula, what pushed you to support President Hakainde Hichilema's campaign over that of the incumbent Mr. Edgar Lungu?
Yes, so President Hichilema is a very principled man. And if you look at his life history, right, he was just a youth like me. Due to hard work, he was able to do very well for himself, and he was able to really, really change his life and society in general. So the reason why I was really supporting President Hichilema and the UPND is due to the fact that I know that this man is one who has got a very good character. He's got strong virtues, and he's a selfless man. He wants everybody to do very well. So this is one of the reasons why I was inclined to sort of support the UPND and its manifesto, because I know that these people are really going to deliver, and they are not really the type of people who are going to turn their backs on people. Because if you look at most of the members of the UPND, right, these are self-made individuals. These are principled individuals. These are disciplined individuals. And this is one of the reasons why President Hichilema was able to attract the right, caliber of people in comparison to the Patriotic Front, because the Patriotic Front had, a way of attracting the most wickedest people, because leadership starts if leadership at the top is broken, right, everything else is going to be broken, and you're going to attract what you are. So due to the fact that President Hichilema is this principled family man, he's very resilient, and he knows what he wants in life. This is one of the reasons why me and many other youths were gravitating towards President Hichilema and the UPND, of course. But if you know UPND's history, right, you understand that President Hichilema succeeded, may his soul rest in peace, Anderson Mazoka, who passed away unfortunately. So if you look at the lineage of the UPND, right, it has always been backed and supported by the most worthy individuals full of virtues. So this is one of the reasons why I gravitated towards them.
So that was back then in 2006 or 2005. Is that so?
Yes, sir. May his soul rest in peace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. So do you think Mr. Hichilema's Christian background may have driven Zambians towards him, because people of Christian values are thought to be people of good morals who want to share in Christian countries like ours and yours. Do you think his religion may have helped him in this election?
Yes and no, due to the fact that President Hichilema is a religious person that we know. But when it comes to mixing it with politics, right, there's a thin line. And if you look at the Patriotic Front's history, they were using Christianity to sort of dupe the people of Zambia. This is one of the reasons why during the Patriotic Front's rule, Zambia was even able to have a ministry called the Ministry of Religious Affairs, which is basically a bunch of hypocrites who were pretending and using the facet of Christianity. So when you look at President Hichilema, he is obviously a Christian due to the fact that his actions and his virtues represent Christianity, but he doesn't really mix Christianity and politics, and he doesn't use this as sort of some bait to manipulate Zambian people, because obviously Zambian people are very religious. We've got a lot of religions in Zambia, not only Christianity, we've got all sorts of religions. Like the Muslim community is very active in Zambia and they are very helpful. We also have the Hindu community, plus a lot of other religions as well. But due to the fact that President Chiluba declared Zambia as a Christian nation, and it's part of our constitution, right? Evil parties such as the Patriotic Front were able to use Christianity to sort of propel their false agenda. And this is one of the reasons why we had a lot of immoralities, even from the church, even from a religious perspective, as far as Christianity is concerned, because we had Christians for Lungu. We had, papas who were sort of pushing a certain agenda when they clearly saw that the people of Zambia were choking and they were suffocating. So they were using Christianity as a way to propel a false agenda. So, when it comes to deeds and actions, right? Just like the Bible says, you shall know them by their fruits. No matter how much you proclaim to be a Christian, no matter how much you pray, no matter how many public holidays you dedicate to the Lord, if your actions are contrary to what you're doing, right, it doesn't really hold any water. And if you look at President Hichilema, right, he has obviously removed the Ministry of Religious Affairs because he understands that particular ministry was obviously wasting a lot of money as far as Zambia is concerned. It was an unnecessary expenditure, and it also propelled the immorality. So when it comes to that particular aspect, right, President Hichilema has got a very fine boundary between religion and politics and just basically governance. He understands where to put governance issues. He understands when to pray and all that stuff. So yes, he is a Christian, but there is a thin line between good governance and propelling religion. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much. We are learning a lot. To those who are just joining us, my name is Jason Mids. I'm one of the founders of the Zimbabwe People's Action Party. I'm also the Director of Communications and Publicity. So today we are talking to our brother from Zambia, Munalula. Muna is one of the people who worked hard for President Hakainde Hichilema to win the election. He's a young Zambian. Our party, the ZPAP, Zimbabwe People's Action Party, we are a Pan-Africanist organization. We believe in one Africa. So talking to other Africans is very vital to us, whether we win elections in Zimbabwe or we lose them. We don't care, as long as we are talking and connecting with the other Africans. For your own information, Mona, our party's theme song was recorded by DJ Sen from Lusaka.
Okay.
DJ Sende. Yeah. So
Yes.
we also had some chats with people like your maps, people like Rich Bees. There's some people back then last year. We had chats with them. We produced a very nice song for our theme song. So this working together, we also have producers in Zimbabwe, but when we work together as Africans to learn from other people, we end up with quality, not quantity. So, Muna, we are going to the next thing. You know, the Zimbabwe People's Action Party is going to face the elephant in 2023. Another PF. ZANU PF.
Another PF.
So, can you advise us? What lessons can we learn from Zambia as we march towards 2023? What lessons can we learn from your experience as a
All
party?
right. Okay, so there's a lot of points that I can actually give you, but we're just going to simplify everything and talk about the power structure. Because when we talk about UPND's victory, it has been a series of events that brought about the victory on 12th August. So understanding where the power structure lies and how you can be able to penetrate and just make sure that there is fairness, because what usually happens especially with sitting governments is due to the fact that they understand how to manipulate the structure to their benefit. So to all the people in Zambia, if you've been following Zambia's history and Zambia's recent activities with regards to the lead up towards the 2021 elections, right? We had a lot of different hindrances. We had Bill 10. Bill 10 was a proposal by the PF government to sort of, cripple the ability for UPND to have a strong chance and be a good competitor, So understanding where the power structure lies and how you can maneuver and be very efficient is going to be very helpful to you. And, other things such as making sure that the youths align with you is also going to be very important, because if you look at UPND's track record, right, obviously there wasn't a lot of freedom in Zambia. There was the Public Order Act that really prevented President Hichilema and a lot of different opposition to sort of be able to freely mobilize themselves and campaign. So if you look at all these structures, right, getting to understand where the power structure lies is going to help you to be very efficient. And this is one of the reasons why during the election days, right, UPND was able to spend a lot of manpower and a lot of money with regards to organizing the polling stations, because when it comes to voting, right, the polling agents have got a lot of power because they've got the power to sort of manipulate the votes. So basically getting to understand the power structure. Look at the members of parliament, look at the MPs. How many MPs are in parliament to sort of oppose and provide checks and balances as well? So looking at all these factors, right, it's really going to help you sort of come to a victorious alignment. So you have to first of all study the power structure, which influential people in the current government is able to like make some moves, make some maneuvers, which people are we supposed to befriend, and how are we going to be able to infiltrate. If you're able to understand the power structure, right, then you can be able to play around these particular confinements and do what you have to do, especially with regards to being efficient. And then of course, lastly, you need the majority of the people to sympathize with you, because once you are able to trigger the majority of the people, right, the army knows that, okay, if people are pissed off, right, there's obviously going to be a problem, and we need to give power back to the people. So you should be able to like trigger the society and the people to align with your ideologies. But the most important thing is understanding the power structure. Just like I told you, right, getting to overcome Bill 10 by the UPND in Zambia was one of the factors and indicators that really made me know that, okay, UPND has got a very big chance, because the Bill 10 that was being proposed by PF was, involving the delimitation of constituencies and making sure that the power structure within the parliament is sort of, weekend, and UPND was able to maneuver and make sure that this Bill 10 doesn't go anywhere. So understanding the power structure. If the power structure aligns with a certain organization, let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, the army, understand how to infiltrate and work efficiently within that particular confinement. Because if you're going to be beating about the bush and, putting manpower where it's not really necessary, you're not going to be efficient. Because right now, I really believe you don't have a lot of time. And, as far as technology and as far as mobilizing people, you've got all these opportunities. So just study the power structure when it comes to voting. Make sure that the polling stations are properly secured, and there isn't going to be any rigging, and just be efficient.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. You are giving us very important dot points there. So, given that Zimbabwe has never had transfer of power without force, uh, what would you have done if you were in our case? Let's say you were the president of Zimbabwe People's Action Party. You know, for Mugabe to come to power, he had to fire the gun against Ian Smith. For Mnangagwa to come to power, he had to fire the gun against Mnangagwa. Sorry, against Mugabe. Whatever elections will be happening in between here is just legitimizing a coup or a government that has gone into power through the noise of the guns. Uh, what would you have done? What
Uh,
would you do?
yes. So a coup is something I wouldn't recommend, because that's obviously going to lead to unnecessary bloodshed and situations that you do not want to get into, and obviously you're going to be
Mm,
overpowered because you're not the you don't have the structure and the manpower to fight with the system. So what I would advise is strong organizational skills and also understanding the power structure. So Zambia has also had the similar experience. So I'll take you back to
mhm.
1991. In from 1964, right? Since we got
64, yeah.
independence, right, till the time
Mm.
that President Chiluba came in, right? Zambia was led by President Kaunda for about 27 years, and there wasn't any history of winning and overseeing him. But what happened is we had Frederick Chiluba, who was a very zealous person who was able to ignite and spark people. So this is one of the reasons why I said you have to understand and trigger the right people to bring about a revolution. If you look at former President Chiluva's track record, right, he was able to, talk and be able to ignite and spark people to follow and align with his agenda. And if you have as many people gravitating towards your message, right, and you are able to convert a lot of people, then they obviously are going to be able to bend to your will. The powers that be are going to succumb to your wills. So this is one of the reasons why you have to look at Zambia's history, because Zambia was also in a similar position in 1991, and we had obviously a very rough period of time. And the economy is also a driving factor as well, because if you look at the economy of Zambia, every time Zambia has had a change in presidency, or rather, changing of government, right, there has always been an economic factor. So if you look at Zimbabwe, right, this is a surprising thing that I find about Zimbabwe. If you look at the economy, it's obviously not really doing as well as it could have been, right? But I just don't understand why this hasn't triggered the people of Zimbabwe to sort of find alternative solutions. So if you look at Zambia's history, before 1991, Zambia was going through economic hardships. We were lining up to buy things, and everything was very terrible. And former Republican President Frederick Chiluba was able to use this particular situation to garner and gather the masses to align with his agenda. Fast forward to 2001, when Frederick Chiluba wanted to have a third term, right? Due to the fact that there was privatization, a lot of miners lost a lot of work, right? There was also economic instability. You know, and President Frederick Chiluba wanted to go for a third term. People were opposed to that, and this is one of the reasons why he had to bring in Levi Mwanawasa. So if you look at 2001, right, there was also economic hardship, but due to the fact that MMD and JUNIP were ruling Zambia, right, there wasn't any strong opposition. Okay, if you look at 2008, there was the global economic crisis, and there was also another revolution. If you look at 2021, right, there was the COVID pandemic as well. So every time Zambia has got a shift in presidents, there's always a direct correlation with the economy as well. So if you look at, if you want to make another prediction, if you want to know when UPND is going to be able to be out of power, just look at the next recession. In the next 10 to about 15 years, there's going to be a change in government because Zambians are. They are motivated by the economy. If the economy is doing very bad, you're going to go out. So at this particular moment, you just need to put a message out there with regards to portraying this particular agenda in terms of having a different outcome by getting in new people and just using that strategy, going the route of having military coups and all that stuff. It's not really going to work, and it's going to be unnecessary. You only have about 2 years. 2 years is enough to spread that message out and align the people to fall or rather gravitate towards your agenda and your message. So this is one of the reasons why you have to, activate the diaspora, use the diaspora to spark the defiant ones. Of course, there's going to be casualties here and there, but if you look at the greater good, right, it can obviously work. So you need to find a way to ignite people to become, defiant and just basically gravitate towards your message without using violence.
Yeah, but yes, that's the Pan-Africanist, and that's Pan-Africanism. You are actually, you are a member of the Zimbabwe People's Action Party because we believe in peace. We believe in hard work. That's why if you look at our logo, there are bees which are making honey. Bees
Right,
work together. No one is the boss when bees are making honey.
right,
And so we are believing that Africa will change and Zimbabwe will change when we are all working hard, with no one claiming the lion's share while everyone else is claiming the mouse's share. Uh, it's nice talking to you, and we look forward to engaging with you on this platform. I also wanted to inform you that Kenya is boiling, and Kenya is a boiling point. Kenya
right,
is can be toxic. So in our next talk, which might be next weekend,
right.
let's direct our efforts towards Kenya. We come back to Zimbabwe again. So Kenya is 2022, Zimbabwe 2023, South Africa 2024. And before you go, can you talk to us about this the effects of the coups which we are witnessing in West Africa? We have seen 4 coups in the past 5 months: Mali, Chad, Niger, and this week, Guinea Conakry. What do you think this is going to do to us young Africans and to Africa, our image, the spirit of Pan-Africanism, One Africa? Can you speak to us on that before
Right.
we close, and then we catch up in the next broadcast?
Right. So, mostly if you compare and study Africa's history, right, you're going to be able to discover that there has been a lot of coups in West Africa. And this is due to the fact that this has been part of their culture, unfortunately, and due to instability and sort of getting to override the constitution, right? People understand that the only way that a particular government is going to be chased out or chucked out is obviously by not using the constitution and just using power. So this is obviously brought about due to the fact that they do not follow their democratic constitutions, because I believe most of these countries that allegedly have these, military takeovers are mostly democratic countries, but due to the fact that the sitting presidents do not want to follow the constitution, right? A lot of takeovers are enforced due to the fact that that's the only way that they can be able to overpower these particular presidents, which is a very, very sad state of development, because this only brings about, economic instabilities. If you look at the African Union, right, once you have an illegal takeover, especially using the military power, right, the African Union sort of removes and revokes your membership until this particular situation is resolved. So when you talk about the perks of being part of the African Union, right, there's a lot of perks that usually come with that. Even the economy slows down, because I really believe at this particular moment, right, the military that the takeover that was done in Guinea, these leaders are emphasizing that the country is going to be back to normal after a week and that stuff. But it takes longer than that, because instability is going to chase away the investors, and there's going to be basically a lot of unrest, which is very, very bad. So what we need to do is we need to be able to follow the democratic route, and sadly, it's just part of their culture. Like if you talk about Zambia, right? Zambians know that the only way to win people is using the ballot box. So for us, it's embedded in our ethics, in our moral, in our culture. But if you look at West Africa, right, neighboring countries always take over using military coups. So this is a subconscious type of programming that they have been, exposed to. So this is one of the reasons why they have to go to greater lengths in order to reprogram their next generation, and just basically be able to follow the constitution. And if you look at Guinea Conakry's, resort to having this military coup, is because of, the president wanted to go for a third term, which was unconstitutional. And people had to go out there on the streets and protest. And eventually there was a takeover like this. So if only sitting presidents would understand that they are there to serve the people and not stay there forever, right? There's obviously going to be no need to have military coups, because people are going to be able to exercise their rights to vote, and they're going to be able to participate in governance. But if you have situations where people are feeling choked and there is absolutely no other way to get rid of you, even if the people don't like you, then there's going to be, no other option but to use force, which is very unfortunate. So I really think following the constitution, especially if a country is a democratic country, then the constitution has to be followed. And when it's your time to go, if the people do not want you, then you have to go. Just live in peace and enjoy your life, instead of stepping on other people's toes.
Yeah, but yes, we are having a chat with Muna from the Z Corner. So my name is Jason Mids. I'm the Director of Communications and Publicity in the Zimbabwe People's Action Party. We'll be facing ZANU-PF in the 2023 elections. We also have our fellow brothers in the MDC, also on the ballot box. Zimbabwe was initially a one-party state under Robert Mugabe. Only one party was allowed, ZANU-PF. And the MDC came in, it became a two-party state. Under a one-party state, the country was sinking. Under a two-party state, for the past 20 years, MDC and ZANU-PF, the country also continued to sink. We are thinking, if we add the Zimbabwe People's Action Party, three parties, we won't have polarization. We can have so many ideas on the table. Because initially when ZANU-PF was alone in power, they thought they were the alpha and omega, and they did as they wish. The country sank. MDC came, ZANU-PF became, they were startled. They were made uncomfortable. They thought power was going, and there we started to witness fights and polarization of the country between the MDC and ZANU-PF. We are not saying they should go. We are saying we should add the Zimbabwe People's Action Party on the table so that we share ideas, so that we remove polarization of the country. Maybe development will come. But I've picked something from my brother from Zambia, that we need to be very well organized. We need to protect the polling stations so that no other ballot boxes are sneaked through the back door, or no ballot stuffing will be happening. But I would say, Muna, we will continue to talk. And we want you to keep following keenly. You see how Zimbabweans, we've been following the elections in Zambia, because Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi were one country called
Yes.
the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland. There is not
Yes.
much of a difference. If you cross the river Zambezi, you'll still be speaking. That's why Mr. Hakainde is Tonga, if I'm not mistaken. If he crosses the river, he will be speaking Tonga as well. So we are one country. We need to follow and advise one another. I don't know why our political temperatures are different when we are similar, when we were one country. And having conversations like this is going to change the temperature. We're going to learn from you, and you're going to learn something from us. And we will learn from Malawi as well, which is the thing. So next week, we are going to come back with Mona and probably our Kenyan brother to discuss what is happening up there. There is Deputy President William Ruto. There is Uhuru Kenyatta. There is Raila Odinga. It's going to be hot up there in 2022. So thank you very much, Munalola. Can you say bye to the viewers, and then we catch up with them in the next broadcast?
Yes, sir. So before I say bye, right, I also want to emphasize this particular point that we're not just here to criticize and, just complain and talk about all these things. We're also here to provide solutions. And, issues related to governance are supposed to be about servitude. We're supposed to serve. And this is one of the reasons why I am going to make sure that I work with Mr. Midzi and everybody that is concerned, to bring about improvement in our society. We have a lot of ideas. We have the manpower to bring about entrepreneurship and just improving the lives of, all the people, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya. So not only are we going to be here to just day in and day out criticize the government and all that stuff, because by the end of the day, maybe they are willing to listen to us. So we're going to actually do things and bring about improvement. We're going to be able to raise money and create employment and do a lot of things. So we're going to make sure that we actually enforce change even before being given the instruments of power, because I really believe in starting where you are with what you have and using all the prowess that you can. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the people of Zimbabwe, the people of Zambia, the people of Kenya, SADC knows that, okay, these people are different. They are actually doing things. So this is something that's just not going to end with regards to criticizing. People are going to see genuine change. We're going to be able to impact and offer our knowledge and expertise to the people who are going to be willing to listen to us. So it's not all about criticizing. It's not all about, putting on suits and looking handsome on these particular, platforms. We're here to enforce and bring about improvement from an entrepreneurial perspective as well, from a political perspective as well. So as we get ready for the coming elections in 2023, as far as Zimbabwe is concerned, as far as Kenya is concerned, we're going to mobilize ourselves. All the people in the diaspora, SADC region, it doesn't really matter, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Kenya, we're going to work together, organize ourselves, and bring about the change, because the youths are tired of promises. They are tired of hearing, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. How about starting now? Right here with what we have, regardless of the situation, because people need to see that we are actually about our business. So, this is something which I hold dearly, and I'm going to take it very personal. From my end, I'm going to be able to mobilize a lot of Zambians, both in Zambia, in the diaspora, and we're going to make sure that all our brothers across the region are liberated, and we are actually going to take action. So this is going to be a long, tumultuous journey, but we're here to enforce change and make sure that people's lives are improved in terms of providing services, providing opportunities, so that they can actually benefit from us. We're not here to just mostly criticize. So I'm looking forward to creating this Pan Africanism, and I want to make sure that we mobilize the defiant ones, because, as far as I'm concerned, I just need 5 to about 10% of the people of the population to be, action takers and just to spark their interest. I just need a few people. I just need a few money making juggernauts. These are the people that I'm targeting. So we are going to impose and use different routes to capture the attention of the defiant ones, the ones that are able to mobilize and bring the crowd together. We don't really need a lot of manpower. We just need a few strong people who are able to hold the crowd and tag them along. So these are the people that we're going to be targeting, and this is what we're going to be doing. So I really hope that we're going to have more and more opportunities to get to talk to Southern Africa, Africa in general, and just be the change that we really want.
Thank you very much, my brother Monalula. And to the Zimbabwe People's Action Party members, you have heard it for yourself. For yourselves, we have always preached about meritocracy, appointing people on merit, ensuring that you do what you can, you offer yourselves, volunteer, whatever you know. Please, the party is a big organization. It has got different areas that you can come and fit and practice what you know. We are not going to close the door to anybody. The party is yours. It's a public organization. It's not a private organization. And that's why you see we are even getting advices and talking to our friends from up north. And also we'll be talking to our friends from Kenya, friends from Malawi, friends from Congo, South Africa. So we get to be one Africa. This is how we can only be one Africa. Thank you very much, Mona, for coming to our platform. We look forward to having you again and again.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Thank you once more.
Thank you.